I say, why are musicians in underpants? They said, Sadhguru, only that sells. I said, what is this? Somebody else is determining her choice, which is not choice at all. This is a sure way to destroy the beauty of feminine in the world. This is a consequence of, in one way, that economic engine drives everything in the world.
Before coming to today's engagement, my 13-year-old daughter was asking me, could I ask a question? I'm like, sure. So this is from her picking up on this whole male-female that she is influenced by, given society and the narrative that has been played. And she said, I am curious to know if there was one advice for the youth today, what would it be?
See, gender is a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm putting it in a very basic way.
Please.
What is in somebody's pants is not my business or your business. It is only relevant in a few places like bathrooms and bedrooms and somewhere. In rest of the places, your gender is irrelevant. It's a question of your competence, what you can do, what you cannot do, what you're capable of, what you're not capable of. We need to bring the world to this place that what kind of body you have is not my business.
Mm-hmm.
Only in bodily relationships it matters. In rest of the time, it's not my business. For this, women also should think this way, but right now, it is, I don't know, it's a complete, man's dream is being played out by the women, because,
Yes.
like yesterday I was because I was supposed to talk to some musician, and I said, okay, let me hear something, so they played a video. I'm sorry I'm using such words, but I'm saying because it pains me that women are being projected like this. And a musician is on stage in underpants. I say, why are musicians in underpants? They said, Sadhguru, only that sells. I said, what is this? So this is horrible exploitation of the woman, and women are cooperating in this. She can wear what she wants, it's not my business. But if she is wearing that only because that's what sells, that is not right in the society. It's her choice what she wants to wear, but it's not her choice. Somebody else is determining her choice, which is not choice at all. So, this is important both for young boys and girls, they need to come up with this, that your body is your business, all right? It is not something that everybody needs to be involved with your body on the street. Everybody need not be involved with your body. People need to be involved with your intelligence, people need to be involved with your competence, people need to recognize your genius. Everybody on the street need not be involved with your body. Body has its purposes, body has its beauty, body has its nature. That is in a different way. I am not trying to say what should be the dress code. No, I'm saying a man should not decide a woman's dress code, that's all I'm saying. Right now it looks like it's man's perversion which is deciding a woman's dress code. This needs to change if women have to be free. So this is why I'm saying, as from man's muscle it is moving to a cerebral nature of activity, similarly from a woman's flesh it has to move to a cerebral nature of activity. So right now this may sound like an absurd thing, no, this is how women are, no, this is how man has expected woman to be. This is not how women are.
Mm-hmm.
I know enough women in my life, all around me, to clearly know that this is not how they are, but they think this is what is expected out of them.
Is this a superwoman syndrome that they define this as, where women just want to project themselves in a certain way?
No, I'm saying this is a sure way to destroy the beauty of feminine in the world, because right now you understand masculine as the ideal of success. If you want to succeed, you have to be like a man, you have to show your muscle. This must go, because this whole thing is coming from this… this is a consequence of, in one way, that economic engine drives everything in the world. When economy is the only thing that matters, everything is a marketplace. Everything is about… See, in the marketplace, if I give less and take more, I'm smart, isn't it? Hello? If I go to a marketplace and give more and take less, I'm stupid. But right now you must understand, in your homes, I'm sure it's true for you also as women, I've seen women working in so many ways, my own mother, my sisters, my aunts and many other women that I see, yeah, when they are at home, their whole thing is to give themselves totally because they're doing something that they love to do. They're doing things for people that matter, that what I get is not important. That's what makes their life beautiful. This should not happen just at home, this should happen in the society, that everybody is trying to do their best to everybody else. This is the nature of the feminine. Right now you are saying, wherever you go, I must give less and take more, whether it's marketplace or marriage, the same thing is happening. And nobody is happy, nobody is living well, nobody can relax their guard. All the time everybody is guarded against each other because every place is a marketplace. Everywhere you go, you're seeing how you can profit. No, that's not how human beings can live well. Human beings can live well. This is right now, I constantly live among volunteers who are always trying to give their best in any given situation. People ask me, Sadhguru, of all the things that you do, what's the most important thing? I say, people around me, the sort of people that I've gathered around me who are willing to give their lives away without any expectation. This is what is most beautiful about my life, because that is what is most important in the world. Every place is a marketplace means we are always trying to take advantage of somebody, isn't it? When your mind has become a marketplace, there will be no consciousness, there will be no finer aspects of life, there will be no room for the feminine in the world. Masculine will rule. It's all about conquest, it's all about exploitation. It's not about, it's not about love, it's not about inclusiveness, it's not about involvement with life. Where there is no unbridled involvement with life, there is no life at all. Only with involvement you can know life, there is simply no other way. You use the word superwoman, I would say my mother was a superwoman. She did not earn a single rupee in her life, but she was a superwoman, she was the most respected in the family. Well, did she ever ask, what will I get? Never, but she is a superwoman. The outside never decided who they are. So, they could walk full stride and explore the depths and dimensions of life that others never dare to touch, because most of the humanity is only concerned about what will happen to me. What will happen to me means what? Will I suffer? That's a question. The first and foremost thing, if you truly want to explore dimensions which we are referring to as another dimension of wisdom or knowing, is that first you must determine the nature of your experience. You have no fear of suffering. Only then, truly exploring human consciousness becomes a reality. Touching dimensions of intelligence, which gives access to the entire universe, becomes a possibility. I'm supposed to open up for questions. Ma'am, you ask your questions, please.
The population I work with that are in the verge of homelessness or they're addicts, if I tell them that it is your intellect and it's your perception and this doesn't exist, they will laugh at me because it definitely exists.
Because it's the dumbest thing to say.
Right. So I wanted to know the spirituality that you teach, the spirituality that many gurus teach. How is it usable for someone that doesn't have food to eat and it's going to become homeless, and there's so many problems, especially in America, I mean, of course I teach them resiliency, it's a different fact, but every time I want to open my mouth and use some of your teachings, I have to step back.
Now, the first problem is that you believe in the teachings, because this is the problem with the entire world. They've been cultured in some belief or the other. This is what is significant about what is referred to as Sanatana Dharma or what is referred to as the Indian way of looking at things is, this is not a land of belief systems, this is a land of seekers. Never ever were anybody encouraged to believe. If you see anything that comes from that land, you will see it is all about questions, never about a belief system. If you enter an Indian home, in the same house, 5 different people are worshipping 25 different gods and goddesses. They're still not made up their minds, which is… and they have no problem, they'll never fight about it because it's a land of seeking. So, first mistake you make is you believe what I say. I am constantly reminding you, don't believe a goddamn thing that anybody says. But don't be foolish enough to disbelieve it either. All you have to do is experiment with it. Does it work or doesn't work? If it works, you keep it, otherwise rubbish it, what's the problem? Now, about somebody being hungry, somebody being homeless, somebody being in a war zones, all kinds of horrible things are happening on the planet. I am not ignorant of it. Anyway, you said living in a temple. I am not living in a temple. I am more of the world than you are. Every day, I want you to understand, I am running a volunteer organization with over 4,000 full-time volunteers and over 3 million part-time volunteers doing variety of work, huge projects, over a dozen businesses and the spiritual movement, okay? Now, I want you to understand, more things are going wrong with my life on a daily basis than anybody's life. Now, when a man is hungry, if you try to tell him, your intellect is the source of your problem, it's obscene. It's obscene, it's nothing short of that. I never spoke to hungry people and said, your intellect is the source of the problem. I'm talking to people who are bulging in so many ways. In their head and in their body, they're bulging. I'm only talking to that segment of the population. Those who are not fed well, I'm doing social projects with them with nourishment, education, health, all for free. Will I ever go and talk to a starved man in an Indian village and tell him, your intellect is the basis of all your problems? What makes you think that I'm that stupid? Do I look like that? So you also don't do that. This is for you. You need to understand this. There are a million problems on the planet. All these million problems are essentially because those who are reasonably well have never cared to reach out and do what needs to be done in the world. In many ways, they're making sure those people don't get it. Yes. In the year 2012, we have produced enough food for 18.2 billion people. We had only 6.6 billion people in that year. But still, 50% of the population is malnourished and hardly eaten anything. This is not because there is no food, this is because you and me have not cared, isn't it? So, is it true? Is it true nobody stabbed you in the lung? But is it also true you're suffering various things of tension, stress, anxiety, this, that? Is it a product of your mind or somebody else poking you from outside? It is your reaction to the existential situation outside. Instead of doing what is needed, what you see is when you see something wrong happening or when you see some suffering or something comes your way, you decide to poke yourself. This is about incapacitating yourself. Instead of seeing when there is a problem, you need empowerment, not incapacitating yourself, isn't it? I'm talking about empowering you so that your damn intelligence functions for you, not against you. The moment your intelligence is working against you, no God in the universe is going to help you and can help you. Yes, if your intelligence has turned against you, you are a finished case. I'm saying, first let your intelligence work for you. If it works for you, there are many miraculous things that you can do for all those people who have still not eaten properly, for whom basic things have not been taken care of. That's our business, because somehow we've landed in a place where you and me are at least eating well. Once we are in such a privilege, we must use our intelligence to see what is the best thing we can do in the world, not sit here and twist yourself out. I'm saying don't twist yourself out. If you are joyful, naturally you will do the best things you can do. If I meet you when you're very happy, will you be nice? No, I don't believe that. When you're very happy, if I meet you, I'm sure you're a wonderful person. But when you're depressed, when you're unhappy, when you're frustrated, if I meet you, you could be a nasty person. This is true with every human being, isn't it? So the first and foremost work that any human being has to do is that you make this into a pleasant piece of life, so that you naturally exude this pleasantness in every possible way. If this is feeling unpleasant and you tell this one to be pleasant, is it going to work? We are trying to fix the stomach-full people.
It was a pleasure listening to you, unbelievable. But my question is, what can I do so that I can acquire your skill of clarity? Honestly, candidly speaking, a very few people, are like you are. I'm sure you have heard this before. What makes you so secure from within and being so candid, honest, truthful, clarity of expression?
I didn't know that's a popular question. When we say clarity, that means… I want to tell you a joke, but it's a dirty joke, so I thought I'll skip that one. No, I'll come with something milder, The problem with the human being right now is that we have created a world, we have created education systems where we believe that human beings are essentially all wrong, or the creation is all wrong, or the source of creation or the creator is all wrong, and you're going to fix it. This is a convoluted idea. Instead of paying attention to life, we are coming up with philosophies and philosophies and philosophies. Philosophies are fantastic explanations to that which cannot be explained. If you want to know life, you must pay attention to life, isn't it? Right now, do you agree with me, madam, that this human mechanism is the most sophisticated machine on the… You agree with me? Are you a doctor?
Yes.
Yes. So, this is such a complex machine, this is the supercomputer, all right? I'm asking, have you bothered to read the user's manual? If you understand how this functions, you would know how to use it. Even if you take a simple gadget like a phone, The more you know about it, the better you can use it, isn't it so? You have definitely, coming from India, you've definitely been bombarded with this thing about realization, self-realization. Let me put it in very simple terms. What self-realization means is, first of all, what the word realization means. Realization is not an achievement, it is not an accomplishment, it is just realization. That means, something that's always here, you just manage to see it now. That means you were stupid all your life. Just now you saw it. You did not invent something new. You did not ramp yourself up to a mountain. No, you just saw the most obvious thing which was always here. You realized. So, realization means you realized how foolish you've been, everything has been right here and you didn't get it. So there are many ways, of course, most of you being from the Indian origin, I have not read this. I have to admit, I have never read the Gita because it never occurred to me. I'm sorry. I know this is a shock but living in India, bits and pieces of this are always floating around in the air and it's… you know many pieces of it, but I've never really studied it in it. So when, in a certain moment, when Arjuna asked, what is the nature of this truth that you're talking about? Where is it? So Krishna laughed and said, the highest truth about your life is the tip of your… Now there are many schools of yoga intensely focusing on the tips of their noses. Please try it for 2 minutes, you will get a headache. You will not get enlightened. What he is saying is, it is the most obvious thing. It is the most obvious thing. But right now the problem is, all the instruments of perception that you have are outward bound, but the seat of your experience is within you. The fundamental seat of your experience is within you, but all the instruments of perception are outward bound. So how should I do? You must understand, anything beyond survival, if it has to enter your life, some striving is needed. Let's say, as a little infant, you were left in the jungle without human contact. If something edible came in front of you, would you first try your ears, then nostrils, and somehow by accident find your mouth? Is that so? You would just know where to put it, isn't it? So what I'm saying is, everything that is necessary for survival is built into you. You're born with it. The five senses takes care of it. But if you want to know something more, you have to strive. For example, do you remember when you were 3, 4 or 5 years of age, you had to learn to write the alphabet. That damn A, how complicated it was. And on top of it, there were 2 versions. You had to write it 100 times to get it, isn't it? But today with your eyes closed, you can write. If that striving was not there, today could you write? Today would you know language? So anything beyond survival needs striving. Without the needed striving, it won't happen. There are ways to perceive the interiority of who you are, but unfortunately there's been no striving. Right now, we made this technology into such a simple, almost like a physical science. A plus B equals this, or 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part of oxygen, water will come. If a great scientist puts it together, only water will come. An idiot puts it together, only water will come. So we made the entire Yoga Sutras like this, that if you do this, this and this will happen to you. That simple. And all I'm asking generally from people is about 30 to 32 hours of focused time to develop an instrument where they can turn inward. Oh, 30 hours is too much. I'm saying, if you cannot dedicate a little bit of time to know what this is, that means your existence must be truly worthless. If this is worthwhile, you must pay attention to this, isn't it? If you want to know life, this is life, isn't it? When I say the word life, maybe you're thinking about your profession, your family, your car, your home. No, these are all accessories. This is life, isn't it so? Hello? But no attention has been paid. Your idea of fixing life is fixing all kinds of things. This happened. Shankaran Pillai was going home. No, I'm not done. Shankaran Pillai was going home. It is 7:30 in the evening. The rules at home, the wife's rules are 8, he must be home. It's only 7:30, he thought there's still time, let me have a quick drink and go. He just stepped into the local bar. He had a quick drink and a quick drink and a quick drink and a quick drink and a quick drink. Then he looked at the time. It's at 2 a.m. You know, drinking people are like yogis, they become timeless. There's a certain correlation. Then it's late and he got off the bar stool and tried to walk. It's such an unfair world. A man is supposed to walk on a round planet. As if that's not enough, it spins. You notice that the planet is round and it's spinning only when you had a few drops more or a few drops are missing between your 2 ears. Either you're drunk or you have a vertigo, then you notice the planet is round and spinning. Otherwise, you think it's flat and you're going on fine. So with great difficulty, he was walking sideways and trying to find his way home. He was crossing a garden and he flipped over and fell face down into a rose bush. His face became a mess. Then he somehow reached home. And you know, these keyholes are so minute, it took 20 minutes to find the keyhole. Then he found his way up to the bedroom and then he went into the bathroom and he looked at his face, it was a real mess. Then he opened the medicine cabinet, took out medicine, plaster, band-aid, fixed himself up and slowly crawled into the bed. Fortunately, the wife is a big sleeper. He slept. Morning 8 o'clock, the wife took a bucket full of cold water and splashed it on him. What about it? He woke up. He said, why, it's only a Sunday. She said, you fool, again drinking? He said, honey, 6 months ago I promised you, since then I haven't touched it. She grabbed him by the shirt and took him into the bathroom and showed him all the plaster was on the mirror. Why people have lost their clarity? Why people have lost their clarity is only because of this, that if there is any suffering here, they think this one should be fixed. If something else happens, that one should be fixed. If something else happens, that one should be fixed. Everyday morning prayer means what? Trying to fix the God. Yes, you're trying to fix up the God, isn't it? So, day in and day out, for everything that happens within you, instead of fixing this one, you're trying to fix everything around you. No wonder you'll be confused. We fixed the planet sufficiently, at least in this part of the world. If you fix it anymore, there'll be no planet left. But are people bursting with ecstasy? No. Because Clarity has been lost simply because of this. If you understand, if life has to really become beautiful for you, this one has to be fixed. If you understand this one thing, clarity will dawn within.
I actually have a question on chitta. How can you tap into chitta? What you said, memory with no effect and the ability to break through cycles.
Right here you want to do that? You can take one fundamental step today. That is, I want you to… Anyway, you already written down the question also, you have the habit of writing things. So you just sit down today before you go to bed, write down. What are all the different types of identities that you have taken? Starting from your body, everything else. Just write it down and see if you can create a little distance from these identifications. Just work on that. That's the first step, that you are not identified with anything. You're just here, throbbing as a piece of life, not as this or that. See, but what can I do? I'm a young woman. Right now, yes, when you sit here among people, if you're just walking by yourself in the garden, you don't really think you're a young woman, or if you are that identified, you can't help it, even there. If you just doze off a little bit, you don't sleep as a young woman, you just sleep simply as life, isn't it? I'm saying something so fundamental as your body and gender, even that identity is only on the surface. Your caste, creed, religion, race, this is even more on the surface. So I'm saying, you can't do it in the day right now, but before you go to bed, see if you can keep all your identities by the bedside table and sleep. To work in the world, you need an identity. Without identity, you cannot function in the world. So before going to sleep, take off all the identities, keep it on your bedside table, morning it'll be there, it'll not go anywhere. Leave it there and go to sleep. You've started the journey.
I would like to hear Guruji's turning point in life where he separated himself from his intellect and his inner self.
Do I like someone who lost my intellect? I didn't think that I was coming out so dumb. She's asking for a story. You want a story? Okay. One must understand, it's a process that you set for. This started happening to me when I was just around 4.5 years of age. I suddenly realized one day that I don't know anything. I don't know anything means I don't know anything at all. To such an extent, if somebody gives me a glass of water, I would not know what is water. I know if I drink this water, it'll quench my thirst and different ways of using it, I know what to do with it, but I don't know what it is. Well, actually, if you look at it, even today, you don't know what it is. It's the only substance present on the planet in all three different states. 3/4 of the planet is water, nearly 3/4 of your body is water. You're looking for life, you look for a drop of water. There's a lot of excitement, they found a few drops on the Mars. I think people from California need to migrate. So, I'm just staring at this glass of water for hours on it. If I found a dry leaf, I'm just looking at the leaf for 5, 6 hours at a stretch. If I sit up in my bed, staring at the darkness. The entire night I'm sitting like this staring. My dear father, being a physician, started thinking I need psychiatric evaluation. This boy is simply staring at something or the other, unblinking he's staring, he's lost it. My problem is, I look at this one, I still do not know this one. There is no way I'm able to shift my attention to another one. So it just held my attention, I couldn't shift. In this condition, they sent me to school. And my mother said, pay attention to the teachers. I went and paid attention to the teachers. The kind of attention that they have never received in their life. And initially I understood the words that they were speaking and what they were trying to say. After some time I realized, they're just making sounds. I'm making up the meanings in my head. Even now, as I speak, I'm only making sounds, you're making up the meanings, isn't it? Because language is a conspiracy between two people. If you have a conspiracy, what do? The Indians, you speak in your language. In India, we have this advantage, we have 1300 languages in the country, we can have lots of conspiracies going because we'll speak in our own language. Actually, I'm only making sounds, isn't it? You're making up the meanings. So when I realized I'm the one who's making up all the meanings, I stopped making the meanings, then I just heard the sounds with full attention. This is the problem with most people. The moment they don't understand, they think they need not pay attention. What you do not understand needs more attention than what you understand, isn't it? So as I watched teacher after teacher coming in and making noises and noises and noises and going, it became very amusing to me and a huge smile spread on my face. They were not at all amused. My schooling went like this, very consistent. Because I remember this so well. I don't know if you still have this. You still have those monthly tests and report cards that your parents have to sign and your children have to get it to you, stuff like that? So, monthly report cards come. I see in the school, some children are strutting around because they're first or second, some are sitting and crying because they're afraid to go home with their marks card. Never once in my entire school life did I ever open and see. The teachers gave me the card, I took it and gave it to my father. I thought this is a transaction between the two of them. I had nothing to do with this. Because I was very consistent, I always got 6 zeros. Because I always gave an empty paper. If they insisted, I put my name on it. Otherwise, I gave an empty paper, as a rule. When the final exam came, I wrote something and went to the next class. Otherwise, all my tests I got 0, 0, 0, 0. Because million things, I have a billion questions in my mind about everything. There is nobody around who's capable of answering these questions, but they're trying to stuff something else into you, which I'm not interested in. So, school went like this. This is about 8 years ago. This school where I studied nearly 45 years ago, they came to invite me for their 125th anniversary. So the trustees, the third generation of trustees came to invite me. They said, you must come. I said, see, I was not just a not good student. I was not even a student, why me, You call the brilliant students of your school, why me? They said, our school has produced union ministers, our school has produced cricketing stars, our school has produced film stars, you are the only mystic, you must come. So, okay. So I went there to speak and And I went and stood up in the quadrangle, looked around the same oppressive building. And I suddenly remembered this classroom. I was about 13 years of age. One after the teacher is trying to get a response for some question he is asked. I hear the sounds, but I don't hear the words. After some time, I don't even hear the sounds, I don't even see their forms, I just see all kinds of things. I know their past, present and future, but I don't know what he's saying. I know his entire life better than him, but I don't know what he's saying. And 35–40 minutes, he desperately tried to get a response from me. But those days I'm made like this, sometimes 3 days, 4 days I don't utter a word, not because I'm in silence or something. When you don't know anything, what do you say?
If you made it this far, it's because something spoke to you on some level. Let us know where you're watching from, subscribe to the channel, check out the links in the description for more reflections. Because honestly, very few people make it to the end. Thanks, big hug, and see you in the next video.